Have you ever chased a girl who looked like an angel, only to feel like you were falling apart on the inside? Not because she did anything wrong, but because you gave too much of yourself away without even knowing it. This happens to more men than you think, but no one talks about it. They keep quiet, they stay hurt, and they keep chasing. But I'm going to tell you something now that can change the way you see everything. Because once you understand this, you'll never chase the same way again. The start of the chase. It all begins with a look. You see her. She's beautiful, like really beautiful. Maybe the most beautiful girl you've ever seen. She smiles. Your heart races. You think, I want her. Now something changes in your brain. You feel like you need to win her. You feel like you'll be happier if she likes you. And that's where the trap starts. You begin thinking of ways to impress her. Maybe you send her messages. Maybe you compliment her every day. Maybe you change the way you talk, the way you dress. Maybe you start watching what she likes, just so you can become more like the guy she wants. You may not even notice it. But little by little, you stop being you. You stop working on your goals. You stop spending time with your friends. You stop doing the things that made you feel strong, proud, and alive. Because now, your only goal is her. The slow breakdown. At first it feels exciting. Your heart beats faster when she texts back. You smile when she gives you attention. You feel like you're flying. But then, something feels off. She doesn't reply as fast. She seems less interested. She doesn't seem excited anymore. And suddenly, you feel panic. You wonder, did I say something wrong? Did I lose her? Is she talking to someone else? You begin overthinking. You check your phone 100 times. You wait for her replies like it's a life or death situation. You feel nervous, uneasy, like your whole world depends on what she does. That's when you know. You've lost your center. You've made her your sun, and now your whole world spins around her. But here's the painful truth. No woman wants to be chased like that. Not truly. It feels good to be wanted. But when a man loses himself just to win her, she starts to feel it. She doesn't feel attraction. She feels pressure. She feels like you want too much, too fast, too soon. And slowly, without even saying a word, she pulls away. Not because she's mean, but because she can feel that you no longer value yourself. And when a man doesn't value himself, he stops being attractive. The emotional collapse. Now here's where it hurts the most. She pulls away. She becomes cold, distant, silent. And you collapse inside. You feel lost. You feel empty. You feel like something broke inside you. But it wasn't her who broke you. It was you. You broke yourself by putting all your worth into someone else. You gave away your power. You forgot your mission. You forgot who you were before she came along. You chased beauty so hard that you forgot your own value. And now you feel small. But listen closely, brother. This is not your end. This is your awakening. This pain you feel, this heartbreak, it's a gift. Because now you get to rebuild, stronger, wiser, more grounded. You don't need to chase beauty. You need to build a life that's so full of power, peace, and purpose that beauty chases you. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone. You need to know your worth and let others rise to your level. You don't need to run after women anymore, because the moment you stand still, and stand strong, the right one will feel it. And that's where we begin. What if I told you the reason she lost interest was because you made her the center of your whole world? Sounds crazy, right? You were being sweet. You were showing her how much you care. You thought you were doing the right thing. But what if that's the very thing that pushed her away? Let's dig into that. The dangerous shift. In the beginning, you had your own life. You had goals, you had focus, you had fire. Then she showed up, and everything changed. At first, it was just little things. You skipped the gym to talk to her. You stayed up late waiting for her replies. You stopped hanging with your boys so you could FaceTime. And then slowly, your entire day started to revolve around her. You'd wake up and check if she texted. You'd scroll through her posts like a movie. You started thinking about what she liked more than what you liked. Without even realizing it, you handed over the keys to your life. And now, she wasn't just someone you liked. She became your everything. But here's the thing, no one tells you. When a woman becomes your everything, she starts feeling like nothing. Because now the balance is broken. The energy shift she feels. Women are more emotional than logical. They don't always know why they feel a certain way, but they feel it deeply. And when a man starts giving her too much too fast, she starts to feel the pressure. Not love, not attraction. Pressure. She feels like you need her too badly. Like your happiness depends on her. Like if she pulls away even a little, your world will fall apart. And guess what? That kind of energy isn't attractive. It doesn't feel masculine. It doesn't feel strong. It feels heavy. It feels needy. It feels like too much. So she steps back. She takes space. And you panic. The unbalanced relationship. A man who makes a woman his whole world forgets one thing. She doesn't want to carry your world. She wants to be part of something exciting, something powerful, something that moves forward with or without her. If you give up your purpose for her, she loses respect. If you give up your mission, she loses attraction. If you stop being the man you were before she came in, she starts wondering where that man went. You stop being the challenge. You stop being the mystery. You stop being the man. And when that happens, even if she stays around, she's not really into you anymore. Not like before. The loss of self. Here's the part that stings the most. You don't even notice you're losing yourself while it's happening, because it feels like love. It feels like connection. It feels like doing the right thing. But it's not love if you can't breathe without her. It's not connection if it only flows one way. And it's not right if you have to give up yourself to keep her interested. That's not love. That's addiction. You became addicted to her attention, to her beauty, to the way she made you feel. But you forgot something. The only one who should hold that much power over your feelings is you. The return to center. Here's how you begin to take back that power. 1. Start doing what made you feel alive before she came in. Lift again. Build again. Dream again. 2. Put your focus back on your mission. What do you want in this life? Chase that, not her. 3. Create emotional space. Let her feel your absence, not as a game, but as truth. Because your world is too full for chasing anyone who doesn't see your worth. 4. Lead your own life. Invite her to join you, but don't ever hand her the wheel. A woman will never stay with a man who loses himself for her, but she will respect the man who can walk beside her. without needing her to fill the holes in his soul. On the next chapter, I'm going to show you why constantly chasing female attention is like pouring water into a bucket with a hole at the bottom. You'll learn how chasing beauty actually takes your power away, and how silence, purpose, and presence are the real tools of the high-value man. Have you ever felt high just from a girl's smile? That rush, that spark, that crazy feeling that shoots through your chest when she texts back with a heart emoji. Feels good, right? But what if I told you that rush is the reason you're slowly losing control? That's not love. That's not real attraction. That's addiction. When she becomes your drug. Let's be real. A beautiful girl can make your heart beat fast. Her look, her voice, the way she laughs, it lights something up inside you. But if you're not careful, that light turns into fire. And that fire starts burning up your focus, your energy, your peace. Suddenly, you're checking your phone every 2 minutes, replaying old messages like they're music, reading into every ... like it's some secret code. You're not just talking to her, you're chasing the feeling she gives you, like a drug. The highs feel great, but the lows, they crush you. Every time she gives you attention, you feel like the king. Every time she pulls away, you feel like a ghost. One moment you're smiling like life is perfect. The next, you're staring at your screen, heart pounding, wondering what you did wrong. That's not healthy. That's not power. That's you being trapped by beauty, and no one talks about this. No one warns you that chasing a beautiful woman with no anchor inside yourself leads to the deepest emotional crash. Because you're not just chasing her. You're chasing how she makes you feel. And when she takes that feeling away, you crash hard. The dangerous cycle. Here's how it usually goes. 1. She gives you attention. You feel amazing. 2. She gets busy, distracted, or just cold. You panic. 3. You try harder, text more, prove your worth. 4. She senses the chase. She steps back more. 5. You lose sleep, confidence, and sanity. And then, you swear you'll move on. But the moment she texts you again, boom, you're hooked. Back to square one. Why this happens? This happens because deep down, you're empty. You've forgotten your mission. You've stopped chasing greatness and started chasing feelings. She didn't make you weak, but she became the thing you used to feel strong. You thought her beauty would fill your broken parts, but beauty can't fix you. Only purpose can. You don't stop admiring beauty. You don't run away from it, but you stop being owned by it. You learn how to enjoy it without needing it. You learn how to feel attraction without losing yourself. You learn how to see her as a beautiful chapter, not your whole story. When you do that, something wild happens. You become peaceful. You become powerful. You become rare. Ever felt like a girl just slowly stopped respecting you? At first, she seemed excited. She smiled more. She laughed at your jokes. But then something changed. She texted less. She seemed distant. You didn't know why, but you felt it. Here's a truth nobody tells you. She didn't lose interest because you weren't good enough. She lost respect because you weren't strong enough inside. Emotional leaks make you look weak. When you show her that your mood depends on her, she starts pulling away. Not because she's mean, but because you're showing her you can't lead yourself. Every time you react too fast when she doesn't text back, send paragraphs explaining yourself when she's cold, get moody or jealous when she talks to someone else, try to force connection when she's silent, you're leaking emotion. And guess what? Leaking emotion is like a sign that says, I don't trust myself. She tests you to feel safe around you. Most men don't realize this. Women test you with silence, distance, or even attitude, not to hurt you, but to see if you can hold your own ground. She wants to know, can this man stand strong when I don't hand him constant validation? Will he stay calm when things feel uncertain? Is he emotionally grounded? Or does he fall apart under pressure? Because if you fall apart, she doesn't feel safe with you. And if she doesn't feel safe, she won't respect you. And if she doesn't respect you, she'll never truly desire you. You don't need to suppress. You need to master. This isn't about being a robot. It's about being a king. Kings don't cry out loud for attention. They feel deeply, but they stay calm under fire. Mastery isn't fake. It's knowing what you feel, but choosing not to act on weakness. If you feel sad, cool. But don't try to fix it by over-texting her. If you feel confused, fine. But don't demand answers from her to soothe yourself. Real power is when you can hold your emotions, breathe, and say, I'm still good. I'm still on my path. I don't need her response to feel whole. That's rare. That's powerful. That's attractive. Your emotional stability is sexy. You think girls only like abs and good hair? Nah. What melts a woman on a deep level is emotional certainty. When you stay calm while other guys panic, you stand out. When you don't rush to fix, beg, or chase, she notices. When you smile like nothing bothers you, even when it does, she respects you more. Because you've become unshakable. You've become a mountain, not a leaf in the wind. And that, my friend, is sexy. Don't hide your emotions. Control them. Imagine you're in a storm. The winds are strong. The rain is heavy. Everything's shaking. Now imagine a man standing in the middle of that storm, eyes calm, feet firm, breath slow. That's who you become when you master emotion. You're not running from the storm. You are the calm inside it. She'll feel that, and she'll never forget it. Oh. Have you ever seen her reaction when you just stop trying? No long message, no angry post, no begging, no chasing, no explanation. Just silence. Just a man, focused, calm, and gone. That silence? It screams louder than any words. Silence is not weakness. It's power. Most guys think they have to get closure, to explain their feelings, to let her know she hurt them. But here's the truth. She already knows. She knows what she did. She knows how you feel. She knows what she ignored. You don't need to teach her with words. You teach her with actions. And silence? Silence is the loudest action of all. Walking away without a scene shows real strength. Weak men explode. They text paragraphs. They try to guilt her into caring. Strong men, they walk away without noise. They don't walk away because they hate her. They walk away because they love themselves more. They have too much respect for their energy, too much value on their peace, too much fire in their purpose, so they don't sit around trying to convince someone to care. They simply leave the room and build a better world without her in it. When she doesn't see you, she starts to feel you. Strange, right? When you were around all the time, she barely noticed. But the moment you vanished into your mission, she starts thinking, why hasn't he called? Is he okay? Did he move on? Is someone else giving him what I didn't? You didn't say a word. But her mind is now running a marathon. That's what absence does. It creates curiosity, and curiosity creates pull. No closure is a form of closure. You don't need her to understand. You don't need her to say sorry, or finally tell you, I was wrong. You are your own closure. Every step you take forward, every moment you spend on yourself, every goal you chase in silence is telling the world, I'm done chasing someone who couldn't see my worth. And that, right there, is the kind of message that echoes in her head at night. Keep moving. She'll notice. The funny thing is, the moment you stop caring if she sees is when she starts to see. When your days are full of growth, wins, and peace, she feels your absence more than your presence. When you're focused on becoming, not proving, not chasing, not explaining, that's when the power flips. That's when she starts wondering, did I lose something rare? And when she does, you won't need to say a word. Have you ever sat in silence? Not because you're okay, but because you finally realized no one's coming to save you. That moment when the hurt hits hard, when you're alone, when it's just you and your thoughts, that's not your breaking point. That's your becoming point. Most men escape pain. The strong ones sit with it. When a woman hurts them, most men run. They jump into distractions, parties, new girls, fake smiles. They try to hide the ache behind noise. But a stoic man, he doesn't run. He doesn't fake. He doesn't distract. He sits. He breathes. He listens to the pain, and he lets it build him, not break him. Pain is not your enemy. It's your trainer. The pain you feel isn't here to destroy you. It's here to teach you. Teach you to stop giving so much. Teach you to stop chasing validation. Teach you that being alone is better than being disrespected. Every sting in your chest, every tight breath, every night she didn't call back, all of it is training you to let go, to detach, to choose yourself. When you stop needing comfort, you grow powerful. The world teaches men, don't feel. Get over it. Find someone new. But that's not strength. Real strength is being able to feel everything and still stand. Still show up. Still work on your purpose. Still grow in silence. Not because it's easy, but because your peace matters more than her attention. Women notice the man who doesn't need to escape. She'll wonder why you didn't spiral, why you didn't crawl back, why you didn't lose your mind. She'll see you moving calmly, still building, still focused, still sharp, and it'll confuse her. Because most men crumble when they're ignored, but not you. You evolved in the silence. You faced the storm and walked out unshaken. Pain passes, growth stays. You won't hurt forever, but the lessons this pain gives you, they'll shape you forever. You'll become harder to shake, harder to manipulate, harder to pull off your path. Why? Because you earned your peace, and no woman, no heartbreak, no beauty can take that away from you. What if I told you the loudest thing you could ever say to her was saying nothing at all? No texts, no sad posts, no trying to explain your worth, just pure silence, not angry silence, not fake silence, but the kind that comes from real peace. That silence, it echoes in her mind louder than any "I miss you" ever could. Women expect a reaction. When you give none, you stand out. She's used to guys blowing up her phone, begging, explaining, fighting for a second chance. But you go silent, not to punish, not to play games. You go silent because you're done explaining your value. Because if someone didn't see your worth when you gave your best, then words won't change a thing. Your peace speaks louder. Silence equals control. When you speak out of pain, you give power away. But silence, that's power under control. That's emotional strength. It tells her, I don't need you to get me. I get myself. And trust me, nothing pulls a woman in faster than a man who doesn't chase. A man who chooses peace over proving. Silence makes her feel what she made you feel. She made you feel invisible, right? Ignored, unseen, unimportant. Now, your silence makes her feel that same emptiness. But here's the difference. You're not doing it to hurt her. You're doing it to heal you. And healing quietly, that's the most unexpected move a man can make. It shakes her. Because she doesn't get the ending she expected. She gets silence. And silence makes her think. The man who doesn't explain himself is the man she can't forget. You walked away without a scene, without blame, without begging, and that haunts her. Not because you hurt her, but because you didn't need to be heard. You didn't ask to be understood. You just let go. That's rare. And rare men are unforgettable. Silence isn't a weapon. It's a wall. Not a wall that blocks love, but a wall that protects peace. You're not bitter. You're better. You're building a life where peace is the foundation, and anything that threatens it, silence. Next chapter is about unlocking the deepest power of detachment, the power to stop asking why and start living now. What if the peace you're looking for never comes from her words? What if the real power begins the moment you stop waiting for closure? That one last talk, that final explanation, that truth you think will help you move on. You don't need it. In fact, needing it is the trap, because every second you wait for closure, you give her control over your peace. And that's not who you are anymore. Closure is a cage. You think you need her to admit she was wrong. You think you need her to explain why she drifted. You think hearing her say, "I miss you," will fix the pain. But that kind of closure? It's a cage disguised as comfort. Because even if she gives it, it won't heal you. Only you can do that. She can't explain your worth. She can't return the time you gave. She can't give back the emotions she drained. So stop waiting. Let her keep the ending. You write your new beginning. Needing closure is an addiction to her approval. Let's be honest. When you want closure, what you're really saying is, I want her to see me. I want her to feel guilty. I want her to regret. But that's not detachment. That's still chasing. It's silent chasing. And silent chasing still hurts you. Let go of her reaction. Let go of needing her to make it right. She already showed you who she is. That's your closure. Peace comes from acceptance, not answers. You may never get answers. But here's the truth. Answers don't heal. Acceptance does. Acceptance is saying, I didn't deserve how I was treated. But I also don't need to carry that pain anymore. You accept what happened, so it no longer controls what happens next. You shift from why me to watch me. That's stoic power. That's quiet strength. Moving on without closure is the ultimate power move. She expects you to reach out. She expects you to seek understanding. She expects you to stay stuck. But you don't. You walk away without a word. You heal in silence. You stop asking why and start saying, now what? That makes you powerful. Because now, you're not chasing beauty. You're chasing purpose. You don't need her to close the door. You're already building a new house. Let her keep the old door. You've moved on to a better place. A place where peace is your roommate. A place where you no longer chase what doesn't see your value. You're building something new, with or without her goodbye. Ever feel like you had big dreams, but somehow they got buried under her smile? Like you used to wake up with fire in your chest, but now all you feel is emptiness when she doesn't text back? Let's talk about the danger no one warns men about. The danger of trading your purpose for pretty faces, because chasing beauty feels exciting until it steals your mission. And without a mission, brother, you're lost. A man without purpose is easy to control. When you stop building, when you stop grinding, when you stop chasing your goals, you become easy to manipulate. Why? Because you're no longer rooted in your own path. Now you're just floating, waiting for her to notice you. Waiting for her to love you. Waiting for her to say, you're enough. But when a man has no purpose, he makes a woman his purpose. And that is how he falls. She is not the mission. She can walk beside you. She can add to your story. She can be your peace. But she is not your purpose. Your mission came before she arrived, and it'll still be there after she leaves. When you forget that, you shrink. You lose your edge. You stop evolving. And ironically, that's when she starts to lose attraction too. Not because you're not good enough, but because you stopped being who you were meant to be. Beauty is a bonus, not the main goal. Your purpose is your work, your craft, your vision, your growth. Beauty is not the goal. It's the bonus. But if you make it the main thing, you'll keep ending up with emptiness in your heart and regret in your mind. Because the truth is, no amount of beauty can satisfy a man who abandoned his purpose to chase it. Reclaim your mission and she'll notice. When you go quiet, when you focus again, when you build in silence, they feel it. Women feel when a man is on fire again. Not texting back because he's too busy building. Not chasing because he's chasing goals. Not waiting around because he's moving forward. That's when the world takes notice. That's when she looks back and says, "Who is he becoming without me?" And that's when the power shifts. You were born for something greater than being good enough for her. You weren't made to prove yourself to her. You were made to prove yourself to your future self, to the man 10 years from now who's watching you right now, hoping you'll wake up and get back on track. He's waiting, not for love, not for beauty, but for the day you say, "I remember who I am." Next chapter will close everything out with the final truth. The real reason chasing beauty for too long leaves men emotionally empty. And the quiet Stoic solution that sets you free forever. What if I told you that the key to breaking free from the emotional collapse you've been feeling isn't chasing after her, but simply choosing yourself? You've been caught in the cycle, chasing, waiting, giving, hoping. But here's the truth that will set you free. You don't need her to feel complete. You need yourself. The secret no one tells you. The only way to truly end the emotional roller coaster of chasing beauty is to stop chasing at all. Now I know what you're thinking. Doesn't that sound like giving up? No contact, no chasing. Isn't that just playing games? Number. It's not about playing games. It's about realizing that the only game worth playing is the one that's in your own hands. Your life. Your life is your legacy. You are the hero of your own story. The beauty of a woman? That's a side character, a supporting role in the epic film of your life. She can add value. She can be your partner. But she is not the star. You're the one who gets to decide how this story goes. And that's power. Embrace the stillness. Here's the thing that sets you free. True freedom comes from emotional detachment, but not in the way you think. It's not about being cold or indifferent. It's about calmness, about the ability to sit still in your emotions without letting them dictate your actions. When you learn to be still, when you are calm amidst the storm, you become invincible. The key to real confidence. Confidence isn't built on how she looks at you. It's built on how you look at yourself. how you see your worth without needing her approval, how you stand tall regardless of the circumstances. You see, the man who knows his own value is the one who attracts the right people. Not because he needs validation, but because he projects it. The final truth: chasing beauty for too long can leave you drained and empty. But when you choose yourself first, you unlock something deeper. A quiet power that doesn't need to scream for attention. A power that draws the right people towards you without effort. So the question isn't, how do I get her to want me? The question is, how do I become the man who doesn't need her to feel complete? Closing thought. The choice is yours. Keep chasing the illusion, or wake up to the truth. When you stop chasing, you stop losing yourself. And when you stop losing yourself, you start becoming the man you were always meant to be. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Remember, the path to true emotional mastery and freedom starts with choosing yourself first. Are you ready to leave the chase behind? Your future self is already waiting for you.